The scent of damp earth and alien pine was my constant companion, a thin comfort against the chill of a world determined to swallow you whole. For 2 years, I'd been marooned on Xylo 7, a scout ship casualty of the skirmishes we called the Lin Frontier. We called them Lin, short for Lincidie, though their proper name was unpronounceable to human tongues. To us, they were savage, territorial, a constant threat. Cat-like humanoids with striking blue fur or skin, swift, brutal, and utterly without mercy. They were the enemy. My mission, after crash landing, shifted from recon to pure survival. And then there was Pip, a small, white, fluffy creature with oversized, orange-tipped ears and luminous, intelligent eyes. I'd found him trapped in a fallen tree, no bigger than my fist, and inexplicably, he'd attached himself to me. He usually rode in my modified survival pack, a comforting weight against my back, a silent, furry companion in the crushing loneliness. He emitted a soft, continuous purr that seemed to hum through the very air, a vibration I'd grown accustomed to. My superiors would have ordered me to abandon him, another non-essential variable in a hostile environment. But after 2 years, Pip was family. The ambush was textbook Lin, silent, swift, brutal. They materialized from the dense, bioluminescent undergrowth, their metallic armaments glinting in the pale, perpetual twilight of Xylo 7's perpetually clouded skies. I'd seen a dozen ambushes, survived 6. This time, I was outmatched. My pulse thrummed in my ears, the familiar cold dread coiling in my gut. Just before they closed in, a flash of blue, faster than thought, collided with the lead Lin warrior. A shriek, not from me, but from the ambusher. It was her. She was magnificent, even in the blur of combat, taller than most Lin, with fur the color of deep twilight and cat-like ears flattened against her head. She moved with an impossible fluidity, her blade a silver blur. She was, as far as my intel went, a high-ranking warrior, a huntress, a particularly deadly enemy. She had engaged the lead ambusher, a larger, bulkier Lin, seemingly in a private dispute, but the fight, quick and merciless, ended with a sickening crunch. Her opponent was down, but she didn't escape unscathed. A jagged piece of weapon-grade crystal, probably shrapnel from my last grenade, had torn through her side. She staggered. The remaining Lin recoiled, confused by the internal conflict, and then inexplicably vanished into the shadows. My chance. I could have run. My survival instincts screamed for it, but something held me. A warrior of her caliber, taken down by a lucky hit. Alone, injured, the enemy. My training dictated a kill, or at least leaving her to the elements. But something, I don't know, empathy? Or the sheer, horrifying thought of being alone and bleeding out on this godforsaken rock. I followed her. He took in the enemy? The thought hit me like a physical blow. The unspoken condemnation from every human I'd ever known. But here I was. Easy. I rasped, raising my empty hands, my own pulse racing. Pip, peeking over my shoulder, let out a soft, inquiring chirrup. Nyara. I'd overheard her designation once. Flinched at the sound, then her eyes, surprisingly softened, fixating on Pip. Her breathing seemed to ease, almost imperceptibly. I made a choice that defied every military protocol. I knelt, slowly, deliberately. She watched me, ready to spring, but too weak. I can help, I offered, pointing to my medical kit. Her eyes narrowed. No tricks, just help. The first few hours were agony, not just for her, but for me. She endured my basic field dressing with grim stoicism, every movement of my hand eyed with suspicion. She was a coiled spring, even bleeding out, but Pip's gentle purr, a continuous, almost sonic hum, seemed to have a strangely calming effect on her. Whenever her eyes blazed with renewed fury, Pip would shift, purr louder, and a flicker of something almost like confusion would cross her face before the rage subsided. We communicated in grunts, gestures, and the occasional, strained word translated by my neural implant. Her language was a series of clicks, hisses, and melodic trills. I learned she was a Hunt sister, a high-ranking warrior of the Xylery clan. She was as mystified by my assistance as I was by her acceptance of it. Slowly, a fragile, unspoken truce settled between us. My daily routine became about hunting for food, tending her wound, and observing. One morning, while Nyara was recovering, a distant, high-pitched hum vibrated through the forest, a sound too regular to be natural, too powerful to be localized. I'd heard it before, always just before a major Lin offensive or an aggressive territorial shift. Nyara, still weak, convulsed. Her eyes glowed with an unnatural, furious red. She snarled, leaping to her feet, blade drawn, striking blindly at the trees. Pip, startled, jumped from my shoulder, landing on her arm. He pressed his soft, white body against her fur, and his purr intensified into a resonant thrum. The red light in Yara's eyes flickered. Her snarling subsided into a confused whine. She looked at Pip, then at me, the fury draining, replaced by exhaustion and a dawning horror. The pieces slammed into place. The Great Harmony was a ZYLR term for the planet's vast, integrated neural network, believed to be the collective consciousness of their ancestors, guiding their species. Humanity had dismissed it as a religious delusion. But what if it was real? What if it wasn't a benevolent guide, but a controlling entity? The Piffs, they weren't just companions. They were natural psionic dampeners. Their unique biological hum could soothe the aggressive impulses transmitted by the Great Harmony. Humanity's conflict with the Lin wasn't a war of aggression. It was a war of misinterpretation, fueled by a planet-wide neural network forcing its inhabitants into perpetual conflict for reasons unknown. The Lin weren't our enemies. They were slaves. It can be understood, I said, my voice firm. I held out my hand. Pip now nestled calmly in her palm. And maybe broken, then a wave of profound calm. The core's pulsating light dimmed. The red in the Lin warrior's eyes faded, replaced by confusion, then exhaustion. The Harmony's control, at least for now, was broken. The purr from Pip was deafening, filling the entire cavern. Nyara sheathed her sword. She looked at the bewildered Lin, then back at me, her amber eyes filled with gratitude and a dawning, terrifying understanding of what they had been. We had taken in the enemy, and in doing so, we had freed them. Narrator. The peace on Xylos 7 was fragile, a new, tentative melody replacing the ancient, discordant hum of forced aggression. Nyara, now free, became a beacon for her people, guiding them to the disorientation of newfound choice. She and I, the human and Lin, the unlikely allies, stood as a bridge between species, a testament to the fact that even the most ingrained hatred can be a misunderstanding, a misinterpretation of a deeper truth. Pip, still nestled comfortably on my shoulder, purred. His quiet song, I realized, was a true harmony, the one the ZYLR had lost, and the one humanity, in its chaotic illogical empathy, had brought back to them.